Get ready. Winter is making a big time comeback as a very active jet stream brings several winter storms sweeping through the country. From snow in the mountains to snow in the plains. We could be looking at significant snow totals, but when is this gonna happen and how much snow could we get? Plus, will Arctic temperatures make a return? We've got all that and more in your forecast starting now. Let's first take a look at the satellite here. This shows us some high clouds as well as some moisture here streaming off the Pacific, bringing some rain and snow, the Pacific Northwest and other areas along the coast. And we've also got a trailing cold front here with some rain and snow in the upper Ohio Valley and a little bit of lake effect snow ongoing in Buffalo and upstate New York with some very dry air down here in the south where sunny skies and beautiful weather persist. Looking at the active weather warnings, really there's nothing in the eastern half of the United States. Spare some flood warnings down here in Kentucky as well as along the Mississippi River, but we do have a significant portion of the West here in winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings. We got some more out here in Oregon. This system that is hitting them now, that's dropping several inches to up to a foot of snow in some places, this is going to be the first of many. California could get an atmospheric river event. We do see that with these flood warnings down here in central and northern California. Over the next 2 weeks, I expect this map to change dramatically as we have several storm systems that'll move through the heart of the country. So we are going to see a much more colorful map, especially in the eastern half of the United States. All right, so we talked about the active pattern, but why is this going to happen? Now, first, let's take a look at the 500 millibar pattern along with the winds. Anywhere you see in red and orange and white, those are greater wind speeds, and that's normally where our jet stream is. Now, you could have either the polar or subtropical jet, but in this case, you actually have the polar jet stream that's combining also with the subtropical jet stream right over California and out west. And that is a recipe for some very strong winter storms and a very active pattern. Guys, we are about to enter an incredibly active pattern, so buckle up for the second week of February. Bring on the snow. Dude, I better get snow. I better get snow. If I don't get snow, I'm done. So let's take a closer look at what the weather will be at the surface for the next couple of weeks here. Let's start today on Sunday. Notice how we've got a big swath out here of mountain snow in, say, Oregon, Wyoming, Idaho. That is a common theme, especially for the first week of February. Skiers in the Rockies and the Sierra Nevadas and the Cascades are going to be very happy as several storm systems move through. I'm going to go through the middle of this week. Check it out. This is on Wednesday. Notice how we have storm after storm moving into California, moving into the west. That will drop significant snow totals along the west coast and along those mountain ranges. As those storm systems move off the mountains, they'll follow that jet stream and take generally this track, with areas north of this receiving some snow and areas south generally getting rain, maybe a rain-snow mix. Could even get some freezing rain here in southern Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana as we go into late Wednesday and Thursday this week. Guys, this is just the warm-up. This is inning one. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. Check it out. As we go into late week, that system moves off the East Coast, but notice on Friday we've got yet another storm system on the West Coast. So we'll get plenty of snow in the mountains out west, especially near Lake Tahoe and places in California. And this storm system will continue following that jet stream, slide off the Rockies, and eventually combine with some energy from the Gulf, where we could get another storm system once again in the upper portions of the Northeast on Sunday. But I got news for you. Everything after this point could be epic. These winter storms are peanuts compared to what we got coming. Here's what I mean by that. As we go into the second week of February, things start off calm. Look at that. This is Monday. We're like, oh, we're good. But as we go throughout the week, check it out as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Look at that. That is a problem. And that's the GFS picking up on a major winter storm that slides from Oklahoma through the Tennessee and Ohio valleys and then pushes off the East Coast into DC. So GFS has been picking up on this storm now for several runs. Obviously, this is hour 240. So we don't want to pay attention to where this storm is exactly because that will change. But the fact that the GFS has showed a storm now for several runs gives you a pretty good idea during the second week of February that we'll probably get a major winter storm. And guys, I got news for you. The Storm Chaser Summit starts on Thursday, and with this active pattern, we're gonna have to watch this big time because I'm really hoping it doesn't cause any travel problems, but it could. So going into late next week, this storm moves off the coast, but check it out. The GFS brings in another storm system right behind it. This probably won't happen, but it just shows you how the GFS is picking up on a massively active pattern on the second week of February with winter storm after winter storm. Going to the end of this model, check it out. The GFS is starting to reload for yet another storm. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up your mouse in your hand just like this, throw it in the air, grab it again, hit the subscribe button, and mash the like button. And leave a comment below. Look, someone's leaving a comment. This video is so cool. Wow. Back to you, Stormcat. Now, the Euro tells a very similar story. We'll start this week with some heavy mountain snow. Then as we go throughout the week, we'll have some more storm systems that'll push through, maybe dropping some freezing rain here on Thursday, like the GFS had showed too. That is actually a big time signal. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But continuing on in the Euro here, it also has another storm system once again pushing through on Sunday. That was also just like the GFS with some more freezing rain possible and maybe some snow for interior portions of the Northeast. And then does the Euro also pick up on that winter storm that we talked about on the GFS? It does. Look at that right there. It's not as strong as the GFS, but it also picks up on our incredibly active pattern plus this winter storm that we're talking about for the middle of next week. Which could be a big one. And look at this. Are you kidding me? The Euro brings a good shot of snow to Kansas City right in time for the summit. I'm going to make the biggest snowman you've ever seen. It'll be 10 feet high. And then I'm going to tackle it as hard as I can. And then going in the weekend, here's that other storm system that GFS talked about. The Euro has this a little bit further to the east and off the coast. Once again, this is our 324, so a lot is going to change. So how much snow are we going to get? Let's take it week by week, because the first week of February versus the second week of February will have significantly different areas getting snow. That first week of February, notice how a lot of the snow is restricted to the very northern portions of the United States. I'm sorry. I don't know what that was. I really don't. When that kind of happens, you can just like look away. All right, where the hell were we? I literally forget where we were. Oh yeah, the snow. So going into the first week of February, the bullseyes for snow will be out west here in the Rockies, the Sierra Nevadas, the Cascades even. Ski resorts like in Utah and Colorado and California. You guys will be very happy as some massive snow drops. You'll also get these weak low pressures that'll slide off the Rockies, bringing with it rain south of this line, snow north of this line to places like Wisconsin, Michigan, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, even upstate New York. You guys will be the big winners of snow for the first week of February. But watch as we go into the second week of February. We'll have lows that form further to the south and take more of this track, bringing heavier snow to places like Nebraska, Kansas, Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania, even in some of the places on the East Coast like New York City, who have gotten very little snow this winter. So the first week of February will have snow primarily in the northern United States, and then the second week of February, that snow will actually push way further to the south. Now, looking at snow totals in the west, we are talking about feet rather than inches. Check this out. The GFS says this place will get around 50.9 inches of snow. That is over 4 feet. That's like up to here. I'd be like waddling around like a penguin trying to get through that. But those feet of snow extends well beyond the mountains here, with huge swaths of the western United States getting absolutely dumped on. Ski resorts are going to be happy. Skiers will be happy. Snow shovel companies will be happy. Truck drivers, unfortunately, won't, because they'll be having to drive through all of it. They'll get so much snow, they might be buried. Where's the road? Where's my car? I think it's somewhere over there. I'm going to try to punch it. Hi-ya! Oh! It's so hard. Now in the west, I'm pretty confident that this big time snow will happen, but further to the east, that is where we have lower confidence at this point, since we're talking about the second week of February. So we can't get into numbers just yet, but know this active pattern will bring several winter storm chances that could drop big time snow. Now with these winter storms, you would expect a lot of the country to be colder than normal. That won't be the case, at least for the first week of February. It looks like our southeast friends, you guys are going to be well above average with very warm temperatures. In the 8 to 14 day, that cold air actually slides a little bit further to the south, but notice we'll still have above average temperatures down here in the southeast, and in between that, we'll have a very active storm track with cold air wrapping around on the backside of these lows that move through, and then warm, moist air being infected from the Gulf on the south side of these lows. So this is going to tell you all you need to know about temperatures. All that red, that white, that is above average temperatures. The purple up here in Canada, that is our below average temperatures. So watch as we go throughout the first week of February. Notice how a lot of those colder than normal temperatures stay in the northern portions of the country, with basically everything south of this line being warmer than normal for much of the first week of February. But check it out, as we go into the second week of February, notice how that Canadian cold air is starting to get hold here as our jet streams push that air further to the south. Notice by the time we hit next week, this would be a significant shot of cold air at the end of the second week of February. And that would align with what Puxatawny Phil said. That stupid Beaver predicted 6 more weeks of winter. Please be wrong. Oh, we are so chalked. If this stupid Beaver is right, we're gonna have a big time problem because I'm done with winter. I need to feel some sun and warmth. Starting to get a little pale and pasty. All right, guys, well, that about does it for the forecast video today. Get ready for a busy couple of weeks. I'll try to have videos out every 2 to 3 days as details keep coming in. Another reminder here, we've got 2 weeks until the National Storm Chaser Summit, and on Saturday, February 15th, Jordan, me, and Edgar will be hosting the Storm Chaser Awards show. It's kind of like the Oscars for storm chasers. I know Jordan and Edgar are going to be on point. I will be giving some crazy commentary. Who knows what I'll say? If you do want to watch that, we won't be streaming it on YouTube because they'll be playing music that we don't own the licenses to. So make sure to sign up at the link above on the National Storm Chaser Summit's website. I included that link in the description below. All right, guys, well, that's it. And as always, guys, find someone, tell them you love them, do something nice for someone today. Spread that love. It's the Stormcat 5, and I'll see you on the next one.